Hello, my name is Mordecai. Let me tell you a bit about my background. I'm a faithful Jew living in exile in Persia, and I have an adopted daughter, Esther, who is very, very beautiful, and she's actually my cousin, but I brought her up as my own when my uncle and aunt died, and I love her very much. I'll let Esther tell you how she became queen, but I was really proud of her as well as worried. I mean, we are both Jews living in a foreign land, and a Jew as a queen, well, it was unheard of. So I told her to keep quiet about her nationality. I'd sit by the king's gate just to hear any news of my Esther. And it's funny that what you hear when people don't notice you just sitting there. I saved the king's life when I overheard two of the doorkeepers plotting to kill him. I told Esther, who told the king, and the two plotters were caught. It then came to my attention that the king's second in command, Haman, wanted people to bow down before him. But I was a Jew. My faith meant that I couldn't bow to anybody other than God. So I refused. This is when things got really bad. Haman was so angry when he saw what I would not bow down. He plotted against me. When I learned about Haman's plan, I tore my clothes and put the sackcloth and ashes and sat outside the king's gate. You see, I'd found out that he planned to destroy all the Jews, and that would include me and Queen Esther. I told her that she must go before the king and plead for her people. I'm afraid her faith was very small, and she didn't want to go because she could be killed if she went to see him without having an invitation. But I told her, don't think about that because you're actually part of the king's household. You'll be the only Jew to survive, and this might be the reason you are queen, to save your people, so act now. Esther knew that I was right, but her faith was still small, so she needed my help. She asked me and my fellow Jews to fast for 3 days and nights as she prepared to go to the king. So we gave up food and drink and just let God take control. After 3 days, Esther went to see before the king, and he was pleased to see her. So she invited him and Haman to a banquet. And of course, they said yes. However, before the banquet could take place, things changed massively. Haman saw once again that I wouldn't bow down before him, so he started to build a gallows to kill me. Meanwhile, the king remembered how I'd saved his life and made steps to honour me. He made Haman, who hated me, dress me in fine clothes and give me a horse and let everybody know that I was honoured by the king. My beautiful Esther then had her banquet, attended by Haman and her husband, while I sat inside the king's gate waiting news. Esther will tell you what happened, but I can reveal to you that she saved us all. Us Jews were allowed to fight against our enemies, and we won, and we had God on our side. And what happened to me? Well, I went from being a man sitting outside the king's gate dressed in sackcloth and ashes to the second most powerful man in the country. Yes, I took Haman's job, and he didn't need it anymore.